We're back tonight with the urgent situation developing in Japan, a frightening new discovery at the Fukushima nuclear plant 2.5 years after the disaster there. We learned this week that the plant continues to leak radioactive water and it's going right into the sea. We asked our chief environmental affairs correspondent, Ann Thompson, to look at the risks.
Today, the owners of the crippled Fukushima nuclear power plant started pumping contaminated water into temporary storage tanks. A desperate act at a plant that, in the minds of many, is a monument to mismanagement.
It's leaking like a sieve, and groundwater is flushing radioactive contaminants into the ocean and into groundwater.
2.5 years after the earthquake and tsunami devastated northern Japan, this plant is still an active danger to the environment, in part because water runs downhill. Runoff from the mountains goes into the plant site and soaks up radiation from leaking storage pools and poison ground. Each day for 882 days, nearly 72,000 gallons of polluted water has flowed into the Pacific Ocean, enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool every 9 days. Fed up with the power company, this week the Japanese government said it's stepping in to help, calling this an urgent situation. In this country, while we have seen all kinds of tsunami debris litter America's west coast, scientists say the leak poses little danger to the U.S. because the radiation dissipates in water. And in the words of one, there's a massive ocean between us. The real risk is at Fukushima. The meltdown of 3 nuclear reactors turned nearby towns into still lifes. The threat now is offshore to Japanese seafood, where fishing is a $14 billion industry. Dr. Ken Bisler of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution says he's still finding high levels of radiation in ground fish like flounder near the plant.
The levels we see in the ocean looking back towards the shore are high enough that they must be sustained by a small but continued leak from the reactor site.
Today, most of the Fukushima fishery remains closed.
Now, there are reports the power company is considering freezing the ground around the plant, essentially building a mile-long ice wall underground, something that's never been tried before to keep the water out. One scientist I spoke to today dismissed this idea as grasping at straws, just more evidence that the power company failed to anticipate this problem, Lester, and now cannot solve it.
Disturbing is an understatement. And thank you.